Hey guys, Blue Falcon here. Wanted to do a comparison review between two guns. Right here I have a Glock 43X, and here I have a 6-hour P365X. And before we get started, let's go ahead and do our safety check. Nothing in the chamber, nothing in the mag well. This gun's safe. And with the Glock, nothing in the chamber, nothing in the mag well. This gun is also safe. And before I get into all this, I'm gonna read out the specifications between these two guns. And we'll start with the Glock 43X. The overall length of the Glock is 6.5 inches. The width, and the width is being measured by the base of the handle, not the actual slide, but the width is 1.1 inches, so the slide's a tad bit thinner than the handle. The height is 5 inches with a weight of 16.4 ounces, and the barrel length is 3.4 inches. Alright, so that was all the Glock 43X. Next, we're going to do the specifications of the 6-hour P365X. Overall length is 6 inches. The width is 1.1 inches, and again, I believe that's the base of the handle, not the slide. The slide's going to be thinner. Weight is 17.8 ounces. The height is 4.8 inches, and the barrel length is 3.1 inches. So the Glock has a longer barrel, but it's also half an inch longer in overall length. The Glock is 5 inches, or excuse me, the Glock is 5 inches in height, and the P365X is 4.8 inches in height, so not too much of a difference, not noticeable anyways if you're carrying. And that's pretty much the difference. Oh yeah, and the P365 is heavier, and both of these weights were taken without the mag in them. So the Glock's going to be lighter than the P365X. So start with the Glock. Tabletop first takes of this gun. Haven't fired it yet, so I can't tell you how it shoots, but I can tell you that as far as grip is concerned, you know, grabbing this firearm and you know, taking an aiming position, it feels good in the hand. Not too wide, not too thin. It's just a really good, nice grip. However, it's just like every other Glock, and it's gonna feel a little bit more standard when it comes to the Glock versus the P365. When I grip this weapon, it's got more of a contoured ergonomic handle. That's the way it feels in my hand anyways. So, you know, taking up a firing position, not too shabby. Feels really good in the hand. Same thing with the Glock, but I would say that this takes the cake as far as you know, grip on the firearm. Sights, Glock 43X, just like every other Glock, has a U rear and just a regular white dot on the front. Easy to see, but they don't glow. P365X X-ray sights, you get that big green dot on the front, and you get the black rear with the tritium in all three. You got tritium on the rear and in the front, so they'll both glow. That's nice. Probably give that. Of course, I'll say this: I do like the sight picture better with that U. It just feels like I can find my sight a whole lot better than I can with just a traditional 3-dot system. But yeah, and like I said, this one has a little bit more barrel on it, but it's also half an inch longer. I don't know if that makes a difference to you guys. For me, it doesn't make that much of a difference. You can kind of see where these two guys, see if I can't get my finger out of the way. You can kind of see where that Glock overlaps right there. Maybe I can get a better view like this. My camera's not doing me any favors for sure. But yeah, there's about a ½ inch difference. Not enough to that you would notice it, you know, if you had it inside the waistband. Trigger. This trigger, I believe, on the Glock 43X has like a 5 to a 5.5 pound trigger pull. I'm not exactly sure which one, but you start to feel the pressure and it breaks almost immediately. So pretty much no travel between the time that you start feeling pressure versus where it breaks at. P365X comes with a flat face trigger, and you get a little bit of travel time. Yeah, so you get a little bit more travel time before you feel it break. Not that big a deal. It breaks at that 90-degree angle, as you can see. But either way, I think both triggers are good, and I believe this one, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't bother looking up all these specifications, which I should have, but I believe this one has right at 4.5 pounds, so it's definitely lighter than the Glock. Round capacity. The Glock 43X comes with 2 single stack 10-round mags. Alright, I don't know why they didn't, you know, stagger it just a tad. Maybe they could have fit 12 rounds to get a better competition, be in better competition with SIG and their X, but I guess they decided not to. And the 6 Hour comes with 2 12-round mags. The P365X does, anyways. With the Glock 43X, you can buy different mags. This one does hold 15, and it's made by, let me see, can I get this to focus? Of course not. Of course not. There we go. Shield Arms, they make metal mag. 15 rounds, but you're gonna pay pretty big money for this. I paid $60 to get 5 extra rounds in my 43X, so not a cheap upgrade. But you know, that's pretty much the tale of the tape when it comes to these two guys. You're gonna have your diehard Glock fans out there. You're gonna have your diehard SIG fans. I think both of these, you know, like I said, the Glock 43, or excuse me, Glock in general has a reputation of being just a reliable, accurate firearm. These guys, even though they feel cheap, to be honest with you, like I said, I'm not just a huge Glock fan. I think they're ugly, and they to me, they feel cheap in my opinion. But the fact that they keep this weapon simple, that they simplify the internals with this gun, and the less you got working around in there, the less that can go wrong. And you know, I've read torture tests where these guys will fire 80,000 rounds out of it and still not get a hang up. I've seen where one guy actually buried his Glock in plaster for 2 years and then chiseled it out and fired it, and it worked. I actually watched the torture test where these guys threw this Glock in the mud, had their monster truck roll over it, back over it, stop on top of it, turn the wheel both ways, roll off of it. The guy picked it up, dusted it off, never separated the slide from the frame, just dusted it off and fired the gun. So I know these guys, even though feeling cheap, they're extremely durable and reliable for sure. These guys will work in even the harshest environments. So you can abuse these guys, you can neglect them, and they will still do the job that you're asking it to do. I haven't seen too much of that with the 6 Hours, so I can't really tell you exactly what kind of punishment this gun will endure and under what circumstances that it would be prone to malfunction in. But I can tell you that I have fired a P365 SAS, which the only difference between a SAS and a regular P365 is the sight system, and never jammed on me. All right, so I never had an issue with it. I've got a Glock, or excuse me, I got a P365XL that I've fired, and it has never jammed on me, not even through the break-in period. So you know, as far as them being reliable and my experience of shooting these guys, uh, they work. You know, I've never had a hang up with 6 Hour and their P365 lineup. The only thing I haven't shot is this 43 or this, excuse me, this 365X. That's the only one I haven't shot, and I imagine that if it's anything like the other two, it's probably going to work just fine. But that's not always the case. So we'll find out soon enough. I'm going to try and get a comparison video, a range comparison video between these two. I don't expect any malfunctions with this gun. I imagine it'll just chew through whatever I decide to put in it. But yeah, so far, you know, as far as takeaway, you know, just first glance, first impression of this firearm, really good gun, feels great in the hand. It's definitely got a name that I imagine it probably will live up to. Doesn't always, you know, it's not always the case, but I've never seen a Glock really just hang up out of nowhere. You know, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it's never happened to me. And I've owned the 19 before, and I fired many rounds through that gun, and it never once hung up on me. But I do believe that both of these guns will probably perform very well at the range, and I hope to get all of that on video and possibly some commentary. That way you can you know, you can hear about what I'm getting from these guns as I shoot them, and make a decision on yourself if you're on the fence between buying these two guns, or one of these two guns anyways. If you're a diehard Glock fan, you won't be disappointed with your first impression of this firearm. It's lighter than this gun, believe it or not, even though it's longer, and it's just a hair taller, not much. But yeah, you know, if you're a 6 Hour fan, you know, you're gonna love this gun. You know, it's, you know, P365, the X, the XL, all of them are very well made, and the contours of the handle, they're gonna feel really great in your hand. And like I said, from my experience of shooting these guys, they work every time. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope if you are on the fence, you know, thinking about buying one or the other, I hope this helped you make a decision. And if you're waiting for me to get the range video out, I will try to get that done either this weekend or maybe next weekend. It just depends. But either way, if you liked it, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button, and I'll see you next time. And with that, Blue Falcon out.